Good morning. It is Monday, November 25th, and today is the memorial of St. Catherine of Alexandria. This is Michigan Mornings from Ave Maria Radio and the Ave Maria Radio app. I'm Matthew Handling. We've got a lot of news to get to this morning, so let's get into it. Wayne County Prosecutor Kim Worthy is asking the Detroit Police Department for the list of over 30 officers that were working without an active law enforcement license. The Michigan Commission on Law Enforcement Standards confirmed the officers were all hired between November 2019 and August 2024, and their licenses lapsed or were inactive due to failure to submit the proper paperwork when they were hired. MCOLs will review each affected officer to determine they are eligible for license reactivation. It is not clear how the issue may affect the cases they worked. Macomb Township officials are investigating how a Clintondale middle school student was able to gain access to a staff communication device to falsely report a school shooting. Officials say the school went into lockdown on Thursday afternoon after a report that someone was shot in the hall. School officials checked the building and were able to determine no injuries or threat was present and lifted the lockdown. Police are asking anyone with information to come forward. Crews are working to remove a train that derailed yesterday afternoon in Saginaw. During the incident, several railroad cars fell into the Saginaw River. The derailment happened near Van Buren and Niagara Streets. The train was operated by the Lake State Railway Company and carried corn. No hazardous materials were on board, and no injuries have been reported. A Muskegon cardiologist is filing a retaliation lawsuit against his former employer. Dr. Daniel West claims Trinity Health Muskegon fired him without cause in late October after he presented a report that alleged a fellow doctor was performing, quote, unnecessary procedures for years and, quote, misinterpreting test results. The lawsuit says West presented the report in June and then complied with orders to destroy the report due to privacy rules. In addition to retaliation, the lawsuit says West's firing violates Michigan's Whistleblowers Protection Act. It is shaping up to be the busiest Thanksgiving for air travel on record. TSA expects to screen 18.3 million airline passengers between Tuesday and the Monday after Thanksgiving. That's a 6% increase over last year. Overall, AAA predicts that a record 80 million people will travel at least 50 miles by car or air for the Thanksgiving holiday. Forecasters say travelers, particularly in the eastern U.S., should brace themselves for possible delays due to strong winds across the region. And we'll have rain here in southeast Michigan on Thanksgiving Day. This is your local news on Ave Maria Radio, Michigan Mornings. We'll be right back with your weather. Now this.
Teresa Tomeo.
Every time I go to Mass and see my husband serving on the altar as a deacon, it hits me how, with God, all things are possible. I mean, there is no way that we should be still married, number one, based on all the problems we had. But number two, the fact that I'm in Catholic media and my husband is a deacon is simply a testimony to the power of God and the teachings of the church that saved our marriage and, more importantly, our souls.
We're going to have more rain today in Detroit. Our high will reach 51. Tonight will be rainy as well, and that will taper off in the early morning hours. Our low will dip to 37. Tuesday will be partly sunny with highs around 42. Wednesday will be mostly cloudy with highs in the lower 40s. On Thanksgiving, the chance of rain returns with temperatures around 40. You're listening to your local weather and news on Ave Maria Radio. We're going to have more rain today in Saginaw. Our high will reach 48. Tonight will be rainy as well, and that will taper off in the early morning hours. Our low will dip to 35. Tuesday will be partly sunny with highs around 40. Wednesday will be mostly sunny with highs in the upper 30s. And on Thanksgiving, we'll have partly sunny skies and temperatures in the upper 30s. You're listening to your local news and weather on Ave Maria Radio. This is Michigan Mornings. The Lions have remained unbeaten on the road with their 9th straight win of the season yesterday in Indianapolis against the Colts. They are currently tied with the Kansas City Chiefs with the best record in the NFL at 10-1. For the second straight week, the Lions defense gave up no touchdowns. The final score was 24-6. They play in Detroit on Thanksgiving Day, as is tradition, against the Chicago Bears. Welcome back to Michigan Mornings. I'm Matthew Handley. We have more news now. Here's Chris Coraggio.
President-elect Trump's cabinet picks are complete. He named conservative lawyer Brooke Rollins to head up the Department of Agriculture on Saturday. Rollins is the CEO of America First Policy Institute, a think tank run by former Trump staffers. Friday, Trump named 7 people to head up various departments, including hedge fund billionaire Scott Bessent to serve as Treasury Secretary and Fox News contributor Jeanette Neshawat to be the Surgeon General. Senator-elect Adam Schiff says President-elect Donald Trump shouldn't have his criminal cases dismissed. Appearing on NBC's Meet the Press, the California Democrat said the proceedings in Trump's cases should be paused until he leaves office because being president isn't a get-out-of-jail-free card.
I think the sentencing and further proceedings in the New York case should be deferred. And likewise, I think further proceedings in the 2 federal cases should be deferred. They should not be dismissed.
Trump was convicted of giving illegal payments to porn actress Stormy Daniels before the 2016 election to buy her silence to cover up an alleged sexual encounter. The sentencing in that New York case has been delayed indefinitely pending motions to dismiss the case by Trump lawyers. A New York judge will decide over the Thanksgiving holiday if Sean Diddy Combs will be released on bail. During a Friday hearing, the judge overseeing the hip-hop mogul's sex trafficking case decided to push back his decision. Combs is being held at Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center as he awaits his trial in May. He's pleaded not guilty to all charges, and one of the defense attorneys said if released, the rapper would stay inside his Manhattan apartment. The original host of Wheel of Fortune has died. Chuck Woolery hosted the game show from 1975 to 1981 and went on to host several other popular game shows in the 80s and 90s, including Love Connection and Scrabble. No details were given about his death, which his brother announced yesterday on social media. Chuck Woolery was 83. I'm Chris Coraggio.
I'm Matthew Handley. That does it for this edition of Michigan Mornings on a Monday. Stay connected with me on X throughout the day. I'm at Radio Handley, and Lord willing, I will talk to you again tomorrow. And until then, goodbye.